Unleaded Toast presents an Elegy in Crimson. Before we begin, this show, this unholy elegy, it touches on dark things. Violence, betrayal, power twisted until it screams, coercion, obsession, regret, the decay of love, yes. But also the predatory ecstasy of domination. The vampires you meet, they're not brooding romantics. No. They're apex predators, dressed in silk and shadow. And the mortals, they're sheep. Fleeting, often forgotten, unless they amuse. Our vampires, they will kill, they will seduce, they will destroy what they love most. Violence here is without prejudice, and it is very rarely gentle. Some episodes will hurt. Some may unearth your forgotten wounds. But you have permission to pause, to breathe, to walk away. But if you stay knowing the void watches back. Oh, well now. Look who's back for another peek behind the curtain. Oh, curiosity tugged at your collar again, didn't it? It said, it worked the first time. Why not try it again? And now look at you, caught like a fly in the spider's web. Oh, what's that? You missed the show the last time? I suppose that's what happens when you blink in the void. Oh, what did you miss? Well, only, a priest's devotion siphoned away like wine from a cask and left to die in the sunlight. Only after his entire monastery was cleansed. Oh, and you didn't see La Vega Rosa. When the chains fell, you didn't hear the first breath she took after a century of silence. Or the sound the descendants made when they realized something very dark lived below. And the vengeance, ripe and exquisite, served with the patience of a predator fattening the herd before the cull. It was calculated. It was art. And now she moves through the world again, her shadow arriving a heartbeat before her name. So now, we begin the final chapter in Catalina's journey. But unfortunately you won't be able to attend, my little fly. You have a dinner engagement you can't possibly pass up. My, what a feast we'll have with you. Shall we begin? We're going to jump ahead a little bit. It seems like it's, mortal year 2100, something like that. You're 500 years old. You're no longer a teenager. You're no longer an adult. You're getting up there, my dear. Oh, but look who's gone from nobleman's daughter to gutter-born terror to comfortably ensconced aristocrat. Oh, yes. 5 centuries of manipulation, mayhem, miraculous shrewd investments. Oh, and now you're living like a queen, Catalina. Tell us, where do you rest your exquisitely tarnished crown? A crumbling estate shrouded in ivy and whispers? Penthouse dripping with velvet and secrets? Perhaps something more unexpected. Describe it all, darling. The scent, the silence, the security. What does a monster build when given time, wealth, and no one left to tell her no?
Sleek skyscraper. New York City. Expansive glass walls, polished obsidian floors, furnishings minimalist, brutal. Massive black granite table and walls. Showcase of history. Gallery of weapons from centuries past. A mounted harpoon from the Muerte. Faded maps. Cryptic paintings. And there is subtle security, sensors hidden beneath rugs, silent drones, safe room, private security. Elegance meets danger. Every detail is control and power and history. A cold promise of a predator.
But when the mortals look at you, when they really look at you, Catalina, what do they see? What fiction have you fed them? Are you a grieving widow, a wandering saint, a collector of rare books and rare sins? Are you a duchess, a devil, a myth dressed in mourning lace? Who do they believe you to be?
Well, as always, I sail under my own name.
Of course.
And I wear a few faces. Sometimes I'm the enigmatic heiress. Sometimes I am a philanthropist and patron. Sometimes I'm a dealer of rare art and books. Sometimes I like to give them a story about rising from obscurity or scandal. Sometimes a modern visionary, business, culture. Most of the time, a little bit of each. Untouchable royalty and self-made mystery.
But Catalina, you're ever the connoisseur of beauty. Even as you grind it beneath your heel, I love that about you. But they were a poet, weren't they? All fire and fragility, every verse a little wound. And you were absolutely enchanted. How rare, how dangerous. So naturally, you crept a little closer. You whispered inspiration into their ear with lips still wet from your last victim. You fed them obsession. You fed them flattery. Who was this poet? And why did their work mean so much to you?
Julian. Rising star in the literary scene. He's known for dark and aching verses of heartbreak and urban decay. I found him in a little cafe in the East Village, reading aloud from his latest collection, and There was something about the way his voice trembled that pierced through centuries-old armor. Obsession, you say. Flattery, smoky rooms, like secret gifts left on his doorstep, invitations to exclusive salons where his work was praised like gospel. I was his muse and tormentor.
Yes, you were. Just a little at first. You would feed him. It was more emotions than anything else. But you broke him. A little at first, then entirely. Then the quill stilled. Music left the voice, the poems cold, lifeless. You didn't drain him. You emptied him. How did it feel to watch the art die while the person lived? Did you intend to do this? Or was it an accident?
It was so easy to draw from his spiraling emotions, the fevered obsession, the fragile hope creeping, despair. It's like a fine poison that numbs and unravels. And at first it was subtle. A shadow in his eyes, a tremor in his voice, faltering in his hands. Art wavered, but it still lived. And then came the deeper emptiness. Poems grew hollow, verses repeating, no spark or soul. And Julian was still there, alive, breathing. But the light that made his work sing was gone. It was cruel and intimate. Did I intend it? Yes. Not out of malice, but necessity. I don't need just blood. I needed life, the beautiful chaos. And in taking it, it strips away what makes them. It's a slow murder without death, a theft of soul in broad daylight. What did I feel? Something indeed did stir. Whisper of loneliness, but quite a dark satisfaction.
How did he die?
The man who once poured aching beauty onto pages became a shell. He stood on the edge of a bridge, roar of a river, drowning out the hum of the city, and stepped into the void. Alone.
So, the sheep, they can't stop murdering each other. They can't stop burning down their world again and again with meaningless wars. You have to leave, don't you? You had to leave your apartment. Where did you go when the mortals turned their lands to ash? than when you emerged from your hiding place? Who changed more, the world or you?
At first, you slip through hidden passages. Once you get past the neon and the ash, you make it to the wilds of Patagonia. It was solitude, jagged peaks, endless glaciers, a solitude unlike any other, where I swear time moves differently. Cold strips away pretense and power alike. Buried myself in silence and ice and stone. Nothing but the wind and stars for company. When I emerge, cities crumble and rise, empires fall, new worlds and orders emerge. The world, as you say, burns and heals and burns. Humanity always dances its endless, destructive dance, war after war, blaze after blaze. And when I emerge, Earth is unrecognizable. Cities float in the sky, minds connect through invisible web, but that does not change the ancient hunger. It's untouched by progress, untouched by time. It's new gods, data, and energy, shaped by centuries of pain and rage and survival, the same as me. Who's more unrecognizable? Both of us.
But it's the little things. The gestures, the stillness, the way you pause just a beat too long. You move like silk underwater, Catalina. Graceful, yes. But somehow wrong. Unnatural. Beautiful the way a flame burns before it touches your skin. Mortals can't quite name it, but they can feel it. Their hairs rise, the room chills, they smile, but they edge back. Instinct screaming through civility, this thing is not like us. Tell us, darling, do you enjoy that? That exquisite discomfort that you cause just by existing? Or do you long now even to walk among them without their eyes twitching toward the door?
Being on the edge of wrongness is power. It sets you apart, keeps the mortals wary, respectful, afraid. It is a cloak, a second skin. Do I long to walk among mortals? Yes, but not to belong. Crave the chaos, the fragile pulse of life. A dance of desires and fears, to taste the world they build and destroy, to slip between their moments. But I know I can't. The hunger, the curse, it's too vast, too eternal. So we walk the edge, close enough to feel their warmth, distant enough to not burn.
But while you're walking along the edge, something unexpected happens. It's a ghost with bones and breath. Tell me, Catalina, who have you buried that didn't stay buried? Which long-dead mortal has clawed their way back into your unlife, their eyes alight with purpose? Is it friendship or revenge? What do they want from you, darling? A reckoning, a reunion, a repayment?
Matea.
Of course.
He was more than a friend. He was a brother in arms, bound by blood, and then betrayal. Thought I'd left him behind. He's not the man that I remembered, but something reshaped by death and darkness. Perhaps fueled by vengeance, perhaps a twisted, fractured loyalty that somehow survived. He offered friendship at first. Long enough to try to stick a blade in my back.
Why didn't you let him?
I pulled him close to deliver his death. Close enough to see the fractures beneath his fury. Pain. Confusion. Desperate need for purpose. Killing him would have been easy. What good is a pawn that's dead on the board? So I kept him alive, broken and tethered to me by debt and dark favors. A tool now sharpened by my vengeance, bound by a debt only I can call due. Because sometimes the cruelest gift you can give is survival.
Is that what eternity feels like to you?
Could it be anything more?
At one point, I think it probably was. Catalina, the words begin to slip from your grasp, don't they? What was the first sentence spoken to you that you couldn't understand? Was it you? Did language leave you, or was it the way people communicate? When did the silence begin to feel like home?
Centuries, really, of shifting tongues, slang, coded speech. War against the sharp edges of my mind. Words people use now. Fast, fractured, layered with meaning beyond grammar. It feels like a riddle that I can't solve. But it's more than that. The hunger inside it eats at connection. The part that understands nuance and empathy. And that sort of delicate dance of conversation. It's dulled by isolation and predation. Language is alive, evolving, tied to emotion and experience. Things that I'm losing touch with. It feels like a ghost watching a world where the living speak in a code that I no longer have the key to.
So tell me, losing language, what does that do to you? Do you become more of an animal? Do you become a ghost, hiding in the shadows and snatching food when you can?
Deepens your isolation. Conversations become puzzles, leave you stranded. Memory fractures. Losing it means slipping past fragments of my own past, moments I can't name or grasp. Your identity blurs the stories that you tell yourself and the stories others tell about you begin to unravel. It erodes your sense of self. Lose your power. For language is a tool of power, persuasion and manipulation and seduction, and without it, your reach shrinks, your shadow grows thinner. And even then, what little emotions you have left fall away. Passion behind speech fades into noise. Less a queen of shadows and more a ghost wandering a world that she can no longer understand.
But you commit an act so appalling. Oh dear Catalina, this is your masterpiece of monstrosity. It is so appalling that your legend twists. What horror did you unleash? What did you do?
Dig back to the past, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Invite them all. All the ones that you have built your empire against to a grand masquerade in an abandoned cathedral, promising alliances and fortunes. It's not just me anymore, a plague of spectral shadows born from the darkest corners of my hunger. And we feed not on just blood, but on fear and memory and hope. And one by one, they were consumed not by their blood, but from within. Madness unraveling minds, memories dissolving into black voids. They all screamed for salvation that never came. Their souls shattered long before their bodies fell. The city woke to streets littered with husks, living corpses of will and identity, walking empty shells haunted by their lost selves. Not just a predator, but now a harbinger of unyielding oblivion, a nightmare that devours not only flesh, but the very being. I will give them horror.
And you did. The facilitator glides toward the center stage, a hush falling like velvet across the void. They reach toward the hovering tome, fingertips barely grazing its trembling leather hide. The quill begins to twitch in anticipation. with a voice steeped in incense and as slow as a dirge and sharp as a lover's lie, they purr. One final memory, darling. One last flicker in the ashes before you were whisked away to this place. Tell me, my sweet little abomination, how did you die?
Alone. Betrayed. And forgotten. On a shore far from gilded halls and storm-racked decks. The sea was cold, swallowing me whole beneath waves. I didn't drown. Not quite. Something worse came for me in the dark. A final silence. The promised release.
How did you react?
I gave in. One moment of peace.
As the last ember of Catalina's saga echoes through the hushed amphitheater, the stage crackles with phantom flames. The scent of scorched lace and blood-wet silk lingers like perfume on a corpse. The book of record trembles, swollen with centuries of seduction, mutiny, and slaughter. The quill twitches, it's eager. The facilitator glides into view, twirling a rosary of bone and gold, one fang glinting behind their smirk. Oh, Catalina. Oh, my corseted catastrophe. My shipwreck in lipstick and steel. Oh, what a dirge you've composed, each note soaked in betrayal and blood. From the tiled halls of Toledo to the salt-slick decks of stolen ships, you wrote your legend in screams and in revenge. So many died for your freedom. So many begged at your feet. And still you danced. You loved like a dagger's kiss. You ruled like a hurricane. And in your wake, ashes and whispered pleas to a monster who never answered. Oh, and now, my darling relic, the curtain falls. Anubis watches, my lovely. He smells the incense on your hand and the blood beneath your nails and the hunger dressed as divinity. So, Catalina de la Vega, my sweet La Vega Rosa, before the book is sealed with your sins, do you have any last words? Oh, take your time, mi amor. After all, eternity is very patient.
At last, the hunger fades, and I am free to taste peace. Cold and silent, and finally mine.
It feels like millennia have passed before silence, absolute and maddening, falls. The book of records closes and the quill vanishes with a small pop. The facilitator fades, leaving you alone before the crowd. From the deepest recesses of the void, beyond even the silence, something emerges. First, you get the scent, old smoke, burning myrrh, and the copper bite of embalming knives. Then the sound. A single funeral bell tolling once from nowhere. It does not walk. It arrives. Anubis, towering, immutable, draped in black robes veined with molten gold. His jackal head gleams like obsidian, eyes polished voids that reflect only your sin. He gazes not as a judge to the guilty, but as one who's found a new flaw in the order of things. He advances with a ritual precision. Time itself bends to his steps. A hand extends, not in violence, but in summons. You cannot move. His touch parts your chest as though it were smoke. There is no pain, only recognition. He draws forth your heart, crimson black, pulsing like a distant drum, and turns to the waiting scales. The book of records settles on one arm, and the heart rests on the other. Time halts. The balance dips, first to the book, then to the heart, quivering between them, a tremor, a quake, indecision. The void holds its breath. The scales cannot weigh what should not be. A soul warped by centuries, neither alive nor dead, a paradox. Anubis waits, unblinking, unmoved, until at last a voice breaks the silence. It's silk. It's venom. It's the facilitator. And they're smiling. The facilitator watches you, eyes like pinholes to a much crueler realm. They take a single step forward, the soles of their shoes clicking like a ticking clock, their garments shifting between an executioner's garb and the flowing robes of a goddess. Oh, my darling abomination. You do not see the problem, do you? Not quite mortal, not quite divine, not a beast, not a god, not even truly you anymore. You've eaten too much to be innocent, forgotten too much to be judged. Well, darling, you're a dog that refused to die. A mutt gnawing at the scraps of eternity. And the scales, well, the poor dears, they're having such a moment of uncertainty. Judgment is built for humans, and occasionally for the gods. But you, dear Catalina, you're a mistake. A 1,000-year-old joke written in someone else's blood. So, we adapt the script. From their sleeve, a sleeve that seems to hold centuries of secrets, they draw the die. A bone-white, faceted instrument of judgment, each face etched with sigils that pulse with forgotten names. Oh, darling, let's give the fates a chance to giggle. The die hovers between you, held aloft by nothing but tension and spectacle. Oh, darling Catalina, you can take the scales if you're desperate for symmetry. Or cast your soul into chaos. Let the whim of things older and crueler than judgment decide if the beast becomes a myth or meat. They step back, spinning the die in the air with a flick of their manicured fingers. Choose, my lovely disaster. Be weighed like a soul, or roll the bones and accept the result.
I will quirk a little smile and reach out and grab the die.
You roll the bones. When it comes to a stop, sigils flare bright red, blinding, and the scales dissolve into the mist. Oh, sweetheart. Facilitator doesn't finish the sentence. Instead, they turn to the side. Behind them, Ahmet emerges. Large, lumbering, massive, beautiful in the way that a breaking wave is beautiful just before it drowns you. Oh, sweet Catalina, she has been waiting so long for you. The facilitator touches your cheek with a sharp fingernail. As they draw it across your face, a cut appears, filling the nail with blood. The facilitator puts it to their lips, smiling. No, she isn't waiting because you were evil. No. After all, we do not judge the lion or the panther because they kill to eat. No. She waits for you because you should not be. You're a beast who mistook blood for transcendence. I'm sorry. Turning to Ahmet, they motion you forward to accept your fate. Go. Let her take what's left. And if it's any comfort, La Vega Rosa, she swallows you so utterly, the world forgets you ever were. Good night, my lovely disaster. And so it ends. Catalina de la Vega, pirate, blasphemer, corseted tempest. Her tale is sewn shut with ink and blood. Is justice served? The void does not deal in such quaint currencies. It just devours. It remembers. And it is never, ever sated. Oh, but my darlings, the curtain never stays down for long. The next act, it shimmers in the wings. Auntie and Marcel, they've stolen more than hearts and coin purses, though neither was ever safe in their presence. Born in the gutters, polished in the army, and perfected in the arms of monsters. They are a mirror you long to kiss, even as it reflects the dagger in your back. Next week, the void invites Etienne to step into the light. Let's see if beauty can lie its way past the scales. As always, thank you for stepping into the void with us. If this story stirred something in you, follow, leave a review, whisper to a friend, or simply sit a while in silence. And remember, darling Catalina. And until next time, my love, feed carefully. Tonight's vampire, Catalina de la Vega, was brought to unlife by Lizzie Webster. Lizzie is a gamer of all kinds, a mom to both humans and animals, and the founder and producer of Endless Night Gaming. Her upcoming podcast, Out of Character, is set to debut soon, so look out for that. You can catch Lizzie streaming over at twitch.tv/endlessnightgamingnc. Do drop in. The night's still young. And finally, from all of us here at Unleaded Toast, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention and for being a part of the community we're building together. In a world overflowing with content, the fact that you chose to spend a part of your day with us means more than you will ever know. We're honored to be a part of your story just as you have become a part of ours. Thanks for joining us here at Unleaded Toast, where every story matters and every voice belongs. We'll see you next time.